Hello everyone, how are you today? I hope you are well. Batang Regency has received an award as a region that cares about the development of MSMEs and the potential of local resources. This award was given for the local government's commitment to focusing on strengthening micro-enterprises and the sustainable use of local resources. One concrete manifestation of this is the Village Visit program that brings government services directly to the community. So, what are the strategic steps of the Batang Regency government to continue strengthening MSMEs, local resources, and workforce absorption going forward? We will review this in full for the next 30 minutes with me, Ejit Hapsari, only on Binkang Kita. And to discuss it, we are connected to Batang Regent M. Thais Kurniawan online. Hello Regent, how are you? Hello, Miss. Okay. Did you take the time out of your busy schedule there to chat with Compass TV? First of all, may I congratulate Regent on the award as a region that cares about the development of MSMEs and the potential of local resources. Congratulations. Yes, thank you. Thank you.
But may I ask, Mr. Regent, what is the meaning of this award and appreciation, both for the PEPCOP and for the people? The appreciation given to us, the Batang Regency government, is of course an important fundamental and important foundation for us, that the existence of industry in Batang Regency with such rapid investment growth, which then by local residents then questioned, what impact will it have on economic growth? What impact will it have on the arrival of investment? What impact will it have on the special economic zone in Batang for the residents? Of course, this appreciation is a commitment and also a spirit for us to continue to push ourselves. How will the potential that will emerge in the coming years continue to go hand in hand with the growth of MSMEs and the growth of local resources in the supply chain in the industry in Batang Regency? Okay, regarding the development of MSMEs and also the potential of local resources, what are the programs being implemented, sir? So, among these programs, which one is the most effective in providing economic impact and community welfare? Well, let's start from here first. This data indicates that the 6.03% economic growth in Batang Regency is accompanied by a shrinking Gini ratio. What does this mean? It means that the investment coming into Batang Regency to fuel economic growth isn't just enjoyed by a select few. The Gini ratio has been shown to shrink from 0.34 last year to 0.32. This demonstrates that there is increasing employment in industry, leading to increased household spending. When household spending increases, MSMEs also have the potential to grow due to increased public spending. Furthermore, this also demonstrates that MSMEs in Batang Regency are also thriving in the industrial superline and supporting the industrial ecosystem in Batang Regency. We have prepared many programs. We share the understanding that the failure of both individuals and MSMEs in market competition is at least partly due to a lack of legal access. First, access to land. Second, access to capital. And third, access to education, access to technology, and access to markets. So, these 5 legal accesses, which we then bring, we summarize in one program, namely Sambang Desa. In this Sambang Desa program, I, as the regent, bring a group of regional government officials and vertical agencies to the village, where we will hold a free certification program for the community, especially MSMEs. So, for those who already own land, we then help them obtain certificates at a relatively low cost, so they have certainty over the land in the form of legal certificates. From there, they can then access capital so they can scale up their businesses. Well, then secondly, we also bring a set of tools to support MSMEs, such as EE, NIB, National Business License, Management, then Halal Certification Management, BPOM Management, to product photography and how to provide training to them related to digitalization. We also bring them there. Furthermore, in the Sambang Desa program, each MSME in the village is given a free booth to promote, sell, and also conduct transactions during the Sambang Desa activities with the community. This is one of our efforts to penetrate the market, opening the market to MSMEs in the villages we visit. So, Batang has enormous potential for local resources and MSMEs, right, Mas Fei? It's interesting that the local government itself recognizes the challenges faced by MSMEs. The district government may have provided capital, but regarding digitalization, so that MSMEs become more tech-savvy, what programs are currently underway and what impact have they had? First, we're collaborating with the Financial Services Authority, OJK, and Bank Indonesia to organize cashless payment activities. So, we're getting them used to it, even though they're still selling offline and not yet digital, but we're starting to get them used to cashless transactions. This is to train them in financial management skills, tracking income and then tracing expenses. It's also to improve their financial records. We're starting from there. So, we're encouraging all MSMEs in the markets in Batang Regency, and perhaps next year it will even be mandatory to conduct cashless transactions. We provide QR codes for market fees payments at MSMEs and MSME outlets provided by the local government. We all use cashless or digital payment methods in collaboration with Bank Indonesia, BI, and the Financial Services Authority, OJK. After that, we invited several MSMEs in Batang Regency that have successfully penetrated the national market through online sales to provide direct training to them. Some of our brands have already penetrated the national market online. We want them to share, not only share but also mentor and teach, until these MSMEs can succeed like the MSMEs that have already penetrated the national market. Okay, so, for the development of MSMEs and the potential of local resources, the Government of Indonesia, PEMKEAP, is truly present and provides support from upstream to downstream. One way is through the Village Visits program. We will discuss the Village Visits program, one of Batang Regency's flagship programs, later, but the following business ventures will remain on our agenda. You're still watching our Wijang, and we're still connected online with the Regent of Batang, M. Faiz Kurniawan. Regent, let's continue the conversation from the previous segment. Now, we're going to discuss one of the flagship programs in Batang Regency, namely Sambang Desa. The Sambang Desa program is one of the interesting innovations from the Batang Regency government. I see. But may I ask, sir, what is the main philosophy of this program? The main philosophy is to bring local government services that people in villages may have felt were quite far away to access. It is truly present at the level closest to the community. Well, in this case, Sang Desa focuses on providing services to MSMEs. While there are services related to civil registration, the focus is on providing services to the needs of MSMEs in the village so that they feel close to the government. They feel that the government is present in the midst of their needs, responding to the needs of the community.
Okay, so, with this program, the benefits and impacts are really felt by the community. So, they also feel that the local government is present, right, sir? Usually, in the village-to-village programs, what services do the community utilize most? The
most, of course, are for those who want to start MSMEs, businesses, or those who have been running businesses but don't yet have a legal business license. Well, this is what we then bring in the Village Visit program. There are services there for creating a business identification number, NIB, and then processing other permits such as business licenses, SIUP. Then, for construction, we also provide the licensing process. Then, as we mentioned earlier, we also provide assistance and access to capital. During the Village Visit service, they usually have a battle. What is that? When they want to start digitalizing, they have limited funds to display their products properly so that when sold online, they visually look good. So, we also bring in professional photographers, product photographers. Every MSME with a product can have their product photographed there for free. We also provide information related to potential locations for MSMEs, both in tourist areas and industrial areas. For example, we once had a labor-intensive industry visit Batang Regency. Then recruit a workforce of nearly 5,000. Well, then they asked us, "Sir, how about lunch services for the employees?" They have a budget of around 17,500. So, we need help finding a catering service. At that time, we suggested that with a total of 5,000, if we only give it to one catering service, it won't be widely felt by the community. It's like we suggested just giving them 17,500 for lunch. But please, from the factory, or from the industry, create a kind of food court. Open around 30 outlets there. Well, then we'll find MSMEs to fill them there. Let the employees choose what they want for lunch. With 30 outlets, with 5,000 employees every day. That means one outlet can have an average of 100 to 150 people visiting there. Well, there's information like this, then we inform it through Village Visits. Second, for example, we open a tourist area, we build the infrastructure, then we build. Supporting things so that the tourist area can be visited by many people. We also inform them that there will be potential openings for new tourist areas. We also provide information to MSMEs who want to fill these spots. This way, they are greatly helped. Alhamdulillah, with the Village Visits program, each time we visit, we can meet at least 50 MSMEs who are processing their NIB, National Business Entity Registration Certificate, then take product photos, and then ask for information on which locations can serve as references for opening outlets in Batang Regency. Okay, so, it's truly remarkable that the Batang Regency government's presence is truly present, and its impact is truly felt by the community and MSME activists there, right, Mas Faiz? So, the PEMKP not only provides business assistance but also, you could say, provides free business consultations. It covers how to penetrate existing markets and how to distribute their products, and the role of the Batang cooperative government itself. Well, that was one of the ways we provided information about industries that are opening outlets for MSMEs. Furthermore, we also hope that MSMEs can enter the industrial supply chain. For example, there is a shoe industry in Batang Regency. That one is exported in large quantities. So, we ask them what the standards are for materials that can be supplied there, such as glue or shoelaces, and so on. We then convey these components, these parts, to MSMEs. This is part of our link and matching of industrial needs, industrial raw materials, with MSMEs in Batang Regency. This is one of our programs, linking and matching. Industry and MSMEs to enable MSMEs to enter the industrial supply chain. Well, that's the first. Well, secondly, we also conduct business matching between MSMEs, our MSME products, and the export market. So, yesterday we invited the Minister of Trade to Batang Regency to convey one of his flagship programs, the Ministry of Trade, related to business matching of MSME products in Indonesia with export market needs. This is what we then immediately followed up on. We asked each MSME to submit their products, then we accompanied them in business matching activities in collaboration with the Ministry of Trade.
Hey, so in the long term, we plan to include MSMEs in the industrial supply chain. Because Batang itself has just been designated as a special economic zone or industrial area. Well, this is also interesting for us to discuss. But later, Mr. Regent, we will continue our conversation in a moment. Our conversation will be back in a moment. Ustaz Pariwara is next. Thank you for watching our conversation, brother. And we are still connected online with the Regent of Batang, Mais Kurniawan, and we are continuing our conversation around our theme today, namely Batang realizing highly competitive MSMEs and local resources. Okay, Mr. Regent, the vision and programs implemented in the village visit were very interesting. How MSMEs in Batang are indeed being prepared to enter the supply chain industry. Because in Batang itself, the President of the Republic of Indonesia, Prabowo Subianto, has just inaugurated the Special Economic Zone for the Industrial Polis, which is designated as a new economic engine, even throughout Indonesia. Is that right, sir?
Yes, that's right. We really hope that Batang Regency can become a driving force for the Indonesian economy. Okay, so, regarding this Special Economic Zone for the Industrial Polis, what are the main targets that FMK Batang wants to achieve? What's next? Okay. First of all, with this special economic zone, we hope for even more massive investment in Batang Regency, in line with the President's vision. But on the other hand, we really hope that with this Batang Industrial Special Economic Zone, the Batang Regency government will be greatly assisted in absorbing the workforce, which is perhaps targeted for 2027 to absorb more than 100,000 workers, with a target of 32 companies currently under construction and targeted to be operational in 2027. Of course, it will continue to grow. Well, we have quite a big homework. 28,000 residents of Batang Regency are still jobless, unemployed, and still looking for work. So, we really hope that with this says, we can add color. The Batang community can add color to the industrial says as part of economic growth and become a workforce. So, this regional government created a program called DAKER, Get Work. What does Get Work? First of all, we created an investment regulation that states that the Batang Regency government is ready to provide tax incentives to investors entering Batang Regency, up to a 50% reduction. The text. One of the requirements is that they employ at least 70% of local residents. There are other requirements, such as restoring integrated ISG land cover and so on, but one of the requirements is that 70% of the workforce must be from Batang. Is the local government just forcing people? No, we've prepared a program called DAKER. So, when our residents register with the industry as employees, as workers there, and are not accepted due to competency gaps, the government is there to pay for training to fill those competency gaps. For example, person A comes to a shoe factory to register as a worker, but it turns out they can't be accepted because there's still a competency gap of around 25% to 30%. That's where the government comes in to ensure they meet the required competencies. We provide full free training until their competencies are 100% as needed. Thank God, this year, since I took office, which has been around 6 months, this year we have targeted 2,000 people to be absorbed. Next year, 5,000, and the year after that, another 5,000, so in 5 years, we can complete a total of 28,000. This year, thank God, from our target of 2,000 is that by September, almost 1,000 people have been recruited through the Get Work program. Okay. So, this program really prioritizes local workers, young people, and workers from Batang Regency. Because the requirement for foreign investor subsidies is quite high, it requires 70% absorption of local workers. Could you explain further, Mr. Regent, about the Daycare program or Get Work program? What is the scheme like? Who can join? Is this link and match only for vocational schools, or is it open to the entire community? The Daycare program is open to all residents of Batang Regency. There are two participant input bases. The first is for those who have registered in industry but still have competency gaps, so we provide additional training to improve their competency. The second is for them to register directly with Daycare, and we provide training. After the training, we immediately channel them to industry. Of course, the requirements must meet the requirements of the factories that are opening the vacancies. So, the first step is to call all industries in Batang Regency and prospective industries in Batang Regency. We map out the required HR standards and then record them. We then link and match them with the standards in Batang Regency. Of course, it's not just training. Some people aren't accepted due to administrative requirements, perhaps because they're only junior high school graduates. We also provide a free Package C program. We provide Package C until they complete the training program. After they've completed the training program, we then channel them to industry. So it's open. But our priority is ours. The first step is the existing vocational schools, SMKSK, in Batang Regency. We link and match industry needs with the majors at the existing SMKSK, so we're also directing these industries to have mentors at the SMK. The second step is to open it to the public. Those who have graduated from high school, Islamic high school, private high school, or vocational school who have already graduated and haven't found work can still participate in this Daycare program.
Okay. So, it's certain that the presence of the police industry KK will have a significant economic impact and absorb local labor. Yes, in Batang Regency. I'd like to
conclude our question today. Mr. Regent, what are your hopes for the future of MSMEs in Batang, as well as the potential of local resources, perhaps in the next 5 to 10 years, and what vision do you want to achieve? Yes, I always tell our residents in Batang Regency that industry will be present in Batang Regency for perhaps 20 years, or in 30 years, they might look for locations with more competitive minimum wages. But what never gets lost in Batang Regency is how its residents, its MSMEs, can survive and take advantage of this momentum to learn. Initially, MSMEs were only present as one part of the industrial supply chain. With this industry, they learned what they had previously only been able to send: shoelaces, shoe soles. They have begun to learn over the past 5 to 10 years how to make shoes. And we hope that in the next 10 years, what was originally a small part of a large industry, MSMEs can scale up to become a large industry itself. What was originally a workforce in factories in the area for the specific economy in this industry, they must have started businesses within 10 to 15 years, because I always assure them that this industry will never be present in Batang Regency continuously. In 5 years, 10 years, as our minimum wage continues to rise, there will be a moment when they will look for a place with a more competitive minimum wage, and we must be ready when that moment occurs. How? Currently, MSMEs are learning about the industrial supply chain so that one day they can scale up to become large industries in their own right. Today's workforce is learning and working as hard as they can to obtain capital, then they start businesses. So, in the future, Batang, whether there is industry or not, we will still be able to survive.
Okay. Wow, what an extraordinary vision and mission for Batang for the next 5 to 10 years. Hopefully, these priority programs can run smoothly, Mr. Regent. Thank you for your time in accelerating your busy schedule. Hopefully, the program runs smoothly for the future of Batang Regency, which will be increasingly independent and sustainable. Thank you once again.
Thank you, miss, thank you.
Okay, Brother from the award national recognition for its commitment to developing MSMEs and local resources, including the Sabang Desa program, which brings direct services to the community, and the Batang Industrial Estate, a special economic zone, (C), which is a new economic driver and is sometimes even touted as Indonesia's next generation. Now, we can see how the Batang Regency government continues to move to build a more independent and prosperous region. This is not just an achievement, of course, but it is hoped that this will also have a real impact on increasing Batang Regency's competitiveness going forward. Gapsari, take my leave. Thank you for your cooperation. See you in our next discussion.